Hey, what's up? It's Double Points. Just wanted to show you something real quick about the new mechanic, the Infinidash. Some are calling it Dinner Dash, same thing. So there's two main ways to input it, and that would be with your thumb or with your pointer finger. I like to use my pointer finger because it's just a lot faster. Now, what I want to explain here is when you're doing it, you want to brace your arm or your controller while you're doing it. If you're just like holding the controller floating in the air like this and you're trying to input it, it's not going to be really, it's not going to be grounded on anything. It's not going to be maintainable. So if you're using your thumb, which most people are, I believe, I'd recommend bracing your arms on your legs. And if you're switching your grip like I do, you would jump, air roll, and then you would do. I would highly recommend bracing that controller on your leg so you don't have to worry about it, absorbing the, trying to do that. It's just, there's so many things to try to maintain, trying to keep it from, rotating in your hand, trying to keep the angle right on. You want to be using your thumb to get a very precise angle on the left stick, and how can you do that if your thumb is now fighting against, the action of, it's a pretty aggressive action, spamming that dodge button. So I just wanted to show you that when I do it, I'm actually jumping. I'm actually bracing that controller right against my leg, just so even if I had a monster touch, it's not going anywhere. And that's really, because the last thing you want to have to do is use any of your focus or attention on keeping the controller stable, and all, because the moment you get that left stick angle wrong, you're either slowing down and going up the wall, or you're turning down the wall and flipping off the wall, or you're just immediately flipping off the wall. It's not gonna go like you want it to. And so the last thing you want to do is have to split your focus between several things. So eliminating that variable, I'd say just brace that controller on your leg. That way you don't have to worry about where your finger is. It's already on the button. The controller's not going anywhere. And all you really have to do is make sure, all you have to do is look at the screen and focus on the precise angle of the left stick, which, if you didn't know, if you have it completely, let's say we're going counterclockwise around the map, completely to the right, which would be 3 o'clock. That's the sweet spot, and that'll allow you to just go supersonic, traveling an infinite length of wall without turning any direction. The slightest bit of rotation forwards is going to give you a quicker acceleration to getting supersonic, which is the max speed, of course, but will also then steer you down the wall, eventually turning you too much, and you will flip off the wall. Likewise, a slight bit back, just a bit back from that sweet spot of 3 o'clock will slow you down, and also will steer you up the wall, at which point it'll then eventually jump you off the wall as well. And so that can be utilized to adjust your steering. If you're starting to steer up the wall, you just want to slide that left stick a little bit to the front, just a little bit. We're not talking like 45 degrees or anything. That's way too much. You could only maintain maybe 1 or 2 at that angle, and you would just immediately flip right off the wall. So let's say you see that when you're doing it, you don't seem to really get speed, you kind of lose speed. Well, that's because your left stick is aimed too far back. If you're already in the middle of doing it, you just want to angle it a bit forward, not too much, because it'll immediately flip you off the wall now. And that's because if your vehicle is going up the wall at a 45 degree, it won't take very much forward on the left stick, and it's just not going to work angles wise. You would want a very, very slight adjustment, and you're going to have to hold that, and then your vehicle is going to eventually, I think this is probably looking the wrong way to you, your vehicle will eventually straighten out, and if you held that angle continuing, it would then start going down the wall. So there's a fine line between adjusting the angle and overdoing it. The adjustment won't happen all at once. It's going to slowly start turning you. So if you can keep that in mind, you really just want to be as close to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock as you can when you're doing it. Realizing you can rock it back and forth from a little bit forward to a little bit back, and you'll do that to adjust for the steering. If it starts turning down the wall, if your vehicle starts turning down the wall, you're going to want to press a little bit back on the left stick, and then hopefully it starts straightening out, at which point you're going to want to adjust your left stick to also straighten out, or you're going to be in a endless cycle of adjustments, and nobody likes that. So thanks for watching. Sorry I couldn't make this a little bit more concise. I should probably make a little bit more of a comprehensive tutorial and explanation, kind of diagnosing various problems that I've seen people have, why it happens, how to avoid it, as well as a few different ways to set up the Infinidash, because there are several different, not different ways to use it, but there are actually several different ways to perform it, different ways to initiate it, such as jumping from the floor to a single wave dash onto the wall. You can also do it from just driving up onto the wall. You can also do it when you're already on the wall. You can also do it when you're on the wall driving down on the vertical portion. You can also do it when you're on the vertical portion driving down into the curved bottom portion. There's a whole lot of different ways you can actually start doing it, which they actually differ in what you input slightly and how you do it. And so I should probably cover that at a later time. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope this helped some people with the whole issue of stability. Like I said, just brace that controller any way that's comfortable for you while you're doing it, and that should give you a little bit of an advantage over whatever you were doing previously. Thanks.